What up, good people, and welcome to another episode of Keep It Thorough, where we give you the real behind business, health, money, and self development, and introduce engaging concepts to help you elevate your performance in all areas of life. I'm your host, Cedric Lavelle, joined by my counterpart, Mr. E. Double.
Yes, sir. It's your boy E Double. We back at y'all season 3, episode 122. And the title of this episode is Healing Past Hardships. So as always, we got a good episode on deck for y'all. And as always, be sure to check out the kit that corresponds to this episode on keepitthorough.com/kits. And we appreciate everybody that taps in, tunes in, whether you listen, you watch, interact with the reels, liking the Facebook or Instagram posts, whatever the case may be. We greatly appreciate all y'all. So with all that being said, let's go ahead and kick it off, Sid.
Absolutely, man. Let's get into it. So, everyone's life journey is a mix of highs and a mix of lows. And it's often the tough times that we experience that leave the deepest marks. And if you think about climbing a hill with a backpack full of rocks, and if each rock was representing a trauma or a struggle that you've been through, over time, the weight is going to slow you down. It's going to affect your thoughts. It's going to affect your emotions. It's going to affect your behaviors. So when we talk about healing past hardships, it isn't about just pretending that those rocks don't exist, but it's instead about learning how to unpack them, understand the significance of those rocks or of those moments, and just ultimately lightening your load to open up space for new perspectives. And because we all know, you know what I'm saying, hardships can bring about all sorts of scars, things that you went through, things that you've experienced. Those things can leave scars. And learning just to heal past those hardships is about transforming those scars into a source of strength, not allowing them to hold you down or keep you confined to becoming who it is that you want to be. And when those scars become symbols of strength opposed to being sources of pain, the perspective and the ideas that are built from that, they grow on you. They become the foundation of who you can become. They become the foundation of growth, become the foundation of understanding, acknowledgement, all these different things that are important to developing you and improving your now and your future, right? Because here's the real, man, like in the process of healing, we all have a chance to redefine our story, right? We go through a situation and we get to where we are now. We have the opportunity to redefine our story, and every hardship that we face, every hill that we climb, every opposition that we're up against and that we have to battle, those things will shape who we are today. Those things give us lesson. They foster resilience. And like I said, they just give us a new story. And when we embrace those experiences that we go through in our past and we use those things and we transition through those things with compassion, with awareness, and with non judgment, they improve our mindset. They allow us to manage our emotions better. They enable us to adopt healthy behaviors. And then ultimately, they just allow us to heal past hardships, which is the ultimate goal. We go through things, we experience things. The goal is to heal past those hardships.
Absolutely, man. Early on in your section there, you mentioned something about thoughts, emotions, and behaviors. And it's very, very important to understand the interplay of thoughts, emotions, and behaviors. So, as you go through different hardships that affect your thoughts, which in return affects the way you feel, right? Your
Hmm.
emotions. And then your emotions, kind of dictate your behavior, or have a huge impact on your behavior, I should say, depending on how strong willed you are. It can or cannot, have an impact on your behavior if you can kind of fight through it. But the way we think about our past hardships deeply influences our emotions and behaviors. So our thoughts are the seeds from which our emotions grow, and then these emotions drive our actions, kind of as I just mentioned. So when negative thoughts about past events dominate our minds, they can lead to feelings of sadness, anger, anxiety, and then these emotions in turn can result in destructive behaviors like isolation, aggression, or unhealthy coping mechanisms. So, therefore, improving our thoughts is the first step in changing the emotional and behavioral patterns that stem from past hardships. So, changing your thoughts involves challenging negative beliefs and replacing them with positive, affirming ones. So, for instance, instead of thinking I'm broken because of my past, you can reframe it to I'm stronger because I survived my past.
Oh yeah.
Those types of shifts in thinking can lead to a more positive, emotional state, and then also lead to better self acceptance and give you hope and strength. So, consequently, these emotions encourage healthier behaviors like seeking support, engaging in self care, and building meaningful connections. And by nurturing a positive mindset, you lay the foundation for emotional healing and behavioral transformation. So, it's really as simple as this, man. Like, the one, there's several things that are for sure, right? Like, we all gonna live one day, we all gonna die one day. We all got 24 hours in one day. You know what I mean? We all deal with hardships. We all deal, whether it's losing someone, like a close family member in death, or maybe it's maybe you lose a friendship due to, outgrowing each other, changes in philosophy and ideology, just in the way you move, what you value, you may lose friends that way, or you might lose a job, or just whatever the case may be. We all deal with different hardships, and then those things have an effect on our thoughts. If it may affect your confidence.
Right.
You might get cut from your basketball team or your football team or something, and that'll affect your confidence, which then will lead to lower self-esteem, which then can affect you in other areas of your life where you actually may be very skilled, or possess certain talents that now you're questioning because of a previous hardship that has affected your emotions and your mental state, and now you look at yourself in a different light. So it's very important to remove those negative thoughts. And if you find some of those negative thoughts about yourself to be true based on past events, then it's important to try to move past them and improve them. So, if you, I don't know, you and your girlfriend broke up and she said you were controlling, or you were lazy, or whatever the case may be, and now you've heard that from other people in your life that you care about and respect, maybe a best friend, maybe a sibling, or a parent, and they're saying some similar things to you that that person, that previous relationship said, then, you just kind of want to reevaluate yourself. Don't just accept the fact that, oh, I'm this lazy, controlling person. Like, no, do something about it. Like, okay, let
Right.
me make it a point to be more present. Let me make it a point to listen better. Let me make it a point to reaffirm the other person's thoughts, or repeat back to them their feelings, to make sure that I properly understand them, and then I can address them. But the point that I'm making here is, when it comes to those negative thoughts, if there is some truth to them, you still don't have to just accept them and sulk in them. Like, you can make
Right.
changes to improve them, which in turn will, improve your thoughts, and improve you know, your emotions make you happier, make you more confident, make you believe in yourself more, and then obviously that affects your behaviors because now you're, you know, typically if you're in a better mental space, you know, then you're going to perform better, or you're not going to be angry. You know, you're going to be
Right.
happy. You're going to be a pleasure, more pleasurable to be around. Which, you know, all of those positive type things lead to better opportunities. Which, you know, really it's like a snowball effect at that point, right? You're happy. You're in a better place. You're creating opportunities for yourself. Those are going to positively affect your thoughts, which then are going to positively affect your emotions, which then again lead to more positive behaviors and so on and so forth. So it's kind of, you know, like a snowball effect. So get in front of those negative thoughts and really realize the effect that those thoughts have on your entire being, right? When it comes to your emotions and your behavior.
Absolutely. That's big, man. And one of the biggest challenges that I think that so many people go through is recognizing that your past doesn't have to define you. I feel like a lot of times people get stuck in their past, and because of their experiences, because of their hardships, because of their trials, because of their tribulations, because of their problems, because of their mishaps, missteps, all of these things, they allow those things to hamper them in their present. We allow those things to define who they are and who they could potentially become, opposed to getting in front of that negative talk, getting in front of those negative feelings and those negative emotions, and doing the work to not allow those things to define you, because ultimately it's your response to those moments that shape your future. How do you respond to those negative thoughts? How do you respond to those hardships? How do you respond to those problems? Those are the things that are going to shape your future. The responses that you give to them, right? So for example, if you imagine facing your hardships head on without sugarcoating or denial. These steps are crucial to allowing you to see reality clearly. A lot of times people try to sugarcoat things. They don't want to accept and acknowledge the truth. But if you accept it, you acknowledge it, and you know what you're acknowledging, then you know how to further move into making the corrections, right? And acceptance doesn't mean that you're okay with what happened, but it does mean that you're understanding and acknowledging it as part of your life story. As I was talking about earlier, we have the opportunity to define or redefine our life story. And when you're acknowledging things, basically it's saying that this thing happened, it's a part of me, but it doesn't have to define me. And that's powerful. That's taking your power back. That's not allowing a situation to interfere with who it is that you're wanting to become, but you're willing to make the corrections to move your life forward. The next thing would be, man, it's just self-compassion. And that's a big one, right? People go through situations and they just like beat themselves down because of it. Sometimes it's your fault, sometimes it's not your fault. But not having self compassion, that can be a detriment. So you definitely want to just treat yourself with the same kindness that you would offer a good friend who's going through a tough time. That's like if E was going through something. I'm going to acknowledge it. I'm going to help him. I'm going to encourage him. I'm going to say, man, I'm here for you. Whatever you need, don't hesitate to call. I'm going to be active because I want to see my boy get through that situation. But if you're going through something, you have to give yourself that same type of action and behavior. You have to have self compassion. And as you go through those moments, it makes it less harder on yourself. It allows you to really grow through those moments, opposed to uh, being self inflictive, causing these self inflictive wounds to yourself uh, because you're challenged, right? And it's about just being gentle with yourself and understanding that everyone has struggles. You're not the only one. You're not the only one that's going through things. You're not the only one that's made a mistake. You're not the only one that's had some sort of struggle. Everybody goes through them. But if you have self compassion, you can get through those things. And the next thing is just, man, just having positive thinking. And I know that's easier said than done. Just think positive, and positive things will happen. But if you have positive thinking, you're able to cultivate a positive mindset. And that can make a significant difference along your healing journey, right? Instead of dwelling on what went wrong, focus on growth and possibilities. Ask yourself, what can I learn from this moment? What can I learn from this experience? Or how has this moment made me stronger, right? And when you can shift in perspective and change the way that you think about things, those are going to help you find meaning in the lessons that you've experienced. Those are going to make those moments worth something. Those moments are going to now have value to you because you're recognizing the significance of them. And as I was stating earlier, when I was making that rock analogy, I was trying to say egg analogy, but when you start seeing the significance of those rocks or of those traumas, and you start allowing those things to teach you lessons, those things or those moments rather, are going to lighten your load. And when you begin to lighten your load, again, that's what opens up the door for new experiences, new perspectives, and allows you to move your life forward and again heal past those hardships.
So yeah, so it's really important to, as I mentioned earlier, focus on like improving, right? Or finding the positive in those hardships. So because you don't want the weight of your previous, challenges or mistakes or hardships to, hold you back or really stop you from accomplishing what you're capable of.
Right.
And we've all heard the saying where it goes, you get in your own way, or like stop getting in your own way, or however you want to phrase it. And that's kind of what this is alluding to. A lot of people's negative thoughts of themselves are self-inflicted based on their past experiences and what they choose to believe
Right.
about themselves. And other people may not even see you in that same light. Like, you may look at yourself as a failure or as someone who is XYZ, and others don't see you that way, because you're letting your past hardships and challenges define who you are, and you shouldn't do that. So many people endure challenging experiences that leave deep emotional scars, that said mentioned earlier, and they often find themselves weighed down by the past. And these hardships can shape their thoughts, emotions, and behaviors in ways that hinder their ability to thrive. So, feeling trapped in cycles of self doubt and emotional turmoil is common. I think it's something that we all deal with at times, affecting personal relationships and professional success. However, the journey to healing begins with the decision to face these experiences head on, acknowledging their impact and understanding that they do not define your future.
Right.
So, this transformation process involves several key steps. By seeking therapy or support, individuals can learn to challenge their negative thoughts and replace them with positive affirmations, fostering a more powerful mindset. Um, I don't think a lot of people realize the importance of affirmations or positive
Yeah.
affirmations.
Yeah.
And it, to some people, it just may be repetitive and sound silly, but it's not in those moments that you need those positive affirmations. When you say them aren't when you need them. You need them when you go through challenging things. In those times that you've said them to yourself, you've built up your subconscious, HP bar, we'll just call it. You know what I'm saying? So now when
Mhm.
you deal with those negative situations that will weigh you down, you have a shield of some sort. You know what I
Right.
mean? So in the moment of saying the positive affirmations, like, yeah, that's not when you need them. you're building up that HP bar. You're building up that stamina or that shield so that when you do need, that extra bit of, horsepower or that extra bit of, you know, um, willpower or confidence, or whatever the case it is, it's there for you, So practicing self compassion is crucial. We said, touched on, give yourself the same grace and compassion that you would a close family member or friend,
That's a
as
good
it
word,
allows
bro.
you said,
Grace.
yeah,
That's a good word, man. Give yourself some grace.
yeah.
Big
But yeah,
word.
give yourself, some grace, and that allows you to forgive yourself for perceived shortcomings and embrace your inner strength. As your thoughts become more positive, your emotions shift towards hope and peace, leading to healthier behaviors like building supportive relationships, setting boundaries, which is huge. So many people don't set boundaries, and
Hmm.
pursuing passions with renewed vigor. Because sometimes, man, there's a lot of things on our plate, and there's some things that we really want to do, but we just don't got the drive or the passion for it right now. And there could be some things weighing on our heart, could be weighing on our mind, big on our chest, and we need to kind of deal with those before we really can pursue those things we're passionate about, in the with the energy and vigor that we are actually capable of. So this journey illustrates the profound impact of healing past hardships and highlights that anyone can transform their life by addressing and overcoming their past. So don't let it be a barrier, or a weight that holds you down. Look at your shortcomings and your past challenges really as fuel and ammunition to, work on yourself, become a better version of yourself, and to take that improved mindset, that improved focus, that improved confidence, and take it into the future, to be a much better version of yourself.
Absolutely, man. That's big. And the quote that comes to mind as we talk about this is yesterday's trials don't have to become today's troubles. You don't have to live in yesterday. You don't have to live in your past problems and allow them to become a burden for your present. You can get past those things. You can move past those things. And as I was stating earlier, with a different mindset, with a different perspective, with a different approach to the things that you're experiencing, you can move past those trials and those tribulations and move towards being triumphant. You can persevere. You can be resilient, right? You can allow your situations and your mishaps to give you fuel to push forward towards a better future, a better now. Because when you think about it, you getting past your hardships is not only about you, it's also about the people that surround you, your family, the people that depend on you, the people that look up to you, your teammates, your wife, your husband, your kids, your mom, your dad, your cousin, your sister, your brother, close friends, all of these individuals that depend on you.
Yeah, I got to deal with
th-
your ass.
yeah, you know what I'm saying? So it's imperative and it's critical to find a way to navigate through challenging moments, right? So doing things like acknowledging your past, that's important. It's there. You know what happened. You know things transpired, but you have to acknowledge it. And again, acknowledging doesn't mean that you're accepting what happened and it is what it is, but you're acknowledging it to make a transition, to make a difference, right? So take time to reflect on your hardships. And one effective way of doing that is just journaling, putting it in a journal, right? Grab a notebook, write about what happened, how it impacted you, the lessons that you learned, how you can grow from it. And these are the type of practices that are going to help you process and understand all of your experiences a lot better. The next thing that you can do, and I'm going to say it again, practice self compassion. Be kind to yourself. Show yourself some grace. And when you catch yourself and negative self talk, pause and switch to affirmations, just like he was talking about. Remind yourself that you do deserve love and compassion, just like anyone else, right? Everybody makes mistakes. Everybody has struggles. Everybody has things that they experience. Give yourself some grace, have some compassion for yourself. And this process, again, is just about treating yourself with the same kindness you would offer a friend. And if you're a good friend, obviously you're going to offer them some kindness. Make certain that you do that for yourself. The next thing is just going to be reframing your thoughts. You know what I'm saying? And you want to challenge those negative beliefs about your past, or the negative talk that came up in your past. And instead of seeing those hardships as purely negative, look at those things for lessons and for growth. Look at those things as an opportunity. Look at those things as a way to develop these strategies that are going to equip you to navigate through life. But again, as I always say, allow you to be beneficial for somebody else, because your experiences taught you something that you can teach to somebody else. So again, ask yourself, what did it teach you? And when you shift your perspective, you can transform how you view your past and allow it to introduce better ways for you to move forward. The next thing would be just seek support. Don't be scared to open your mouth. Don't be scared to reach out to people. Don't hesitate to talk, whether it's talking to a therapist, joining a support group, confiding in a trusted friend. Getting emotional support is vital. Like, don't be no hard ass and trying to just say, I'm going to tough it out and I'm not going to allow anybody to see that I'm hurting or that I'm going through something. No, communicate, open your mouth, talk to people, and sharing your story can be what lightens your load. When you open up to people that you trust, obviously, and that have your best interests at heart, that can help in lightening the burden of whatever grief, whatever obstacle, whatever problem, whatever circumstance that you're going through that's hurting you. That's going to allow you to move forward. And then the last thing is just going to be developing healthy coping mechanisms. You know what I'm saying? Engage in activities that promote your well being and not damage it, right? Do things that are going to help you and not hurt you. So, whether it's exercising, whether it's meditating, whether it's finding some sort of creative hobby to help and manage your stress or improve your mood, establish these routines that are going to nurture your physical and your mental health. Those things are going to help you, because again, you want to get through the situation. You don't want to allow it to continue to hold you down and confine you. You want to get past it. So if you can just implement those things into your daily routines and implement those things into your new perspective, again, those are the things that are going to help you heal past hardships.
Hey, so in summary, it's all about reclaiming your power,
Yes,
right?
sir.
You got to get your power back. And one thing I wanna say too in closing is not everything that on the surface appears to be a hardship is actually a hardship.
Mm,
Sometimes there are people in our lives that have been there for a long time, and just out of um habit and comfort level, most people go the path of least resistance, so they just stick to what's easiest.
yep.
um Sometimes them people don't need to be in your life no more. Sometimes you've outgrown them, and what appears to be, again, a difficult or challenging or hard situation is really just an opportunity to start fresh and really, you know think about it as moving the plant out of a smaller pot into a bigger pot, right? Like, there's no more growth in this pot for you. Your roots
Mm-hmm.
getting tangled, man. You got root lock.
Right.
Move into this bigger pot so that you can expand and grow and really become who you're really supposed to be. So it's important to think about that, right? So healing past hardships is a transform I can't say the word, transformative
Transformation, transformative.
There we
Yeah,
go. It's not
yeah.
a hard
I
word.
knew
E
it, I knew it's coming
transformative.
there eventually.
Healing past hardships is a transformative journey that allows you to reclaim your power and thrive. And again, being planted in that new pot, you know what I mean? That's you thriving, that's you, reclaiming your power. But by acknowledging your experiences, practicing self compassion, and fostering positive thinking, you can improve your thoughts, emotions, and behaviors, which is important. You know, if you're depressed, negative thoughts, constantly down on yourself, don't really want to do anything, you know, it's going to be hard to be a better version of yourself, and it's going to be hard to progress. And if anything, you may decline. Your health may
Absolutely.
decline. Your professional life may decline. Your social life may decline. So it's going to make things worse. So it's important to acknowledge your experiences, and to practice that self-compassion, giving yourself grace, and then start cultivating a way to foster positive thoughts and put yourself in positive spaces and around positive individuals to help build up your confidence, and help with your different emotions. And that may be seeking professional help.
Right.
Sometimes a friend can go a very long way in just sharing experiences and letting you know you're not alone. But sometimes you need a little bit extra help, and it may need to be professional. But for the betterment of your future, right, it's important to embrace these steps outlined, seek the support you need, and integrate healthy coping mechanisms into your daily life. And said mentioned that working out, that's tremendous for me. If I don't work out, my whole day feel like it's messed up.
Yeah.
Like I just don't have the same amount of energy. I just don't got that same pep in my step. I actually hurt my back this just past Sunday hooping, and ain't been able to work out all week, and
Eric,
just
oh
just
y'all,
feel
he
all
getting old.
discombobulated. You know what I'm
He getting
saying? Like it
old.
just
Mm.
I'm getting older, but I feel amazing. Besides my back hurting right now, but you know what's crazy though is like, so I ain't been in Mayweather all week, right? And I know they wondering like, where the hell he at? He ain't say he was going out of town or nothing. You know what I mean? Because that's my habit. That's what I do. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So, um, but yeah, it's very important to integrate those helping coping mechanisms. So
Find
whether
that
it's
outlet.
reading or whatever the case may be, but integrating into your daily life. That ain't something you should be doing sometimes. That's be something you should do all
Do it
the
all the
time.
time. Yeah.
And then finally, remember your past does not define you. I've said it, mentioned it several times throughout this episode. Your past does not define you. It's how you rise from it that shapes your future. So it's how
Absolutely.
you improve, look at those lessons, those challenges, how you grow from them, how you incorporate new ways of doing things, how you meet new people, and continually challenge yourself. And we talked a lot about giving yourself grace and addressing your hardships and challenges the same way you would with a friend. But at the same time, don't be soft on yourself. Okay. You
Yeah.
do need to be hard on yourself. You do need to challenge yourself. You do need to admit if you were in the wrong, if there were areas that you could have done better, if you need to go make some apologies, or whatever the case may be. Sometimes an apology just, it may be due, but it just ain't time, or it's
Right.
not going to make anything better, because if the person is not receptive to the apology, then it's just a big waste of time and it can go left, right? So but just think about that, do some self-reflection,
Be
and
accountable.
be hard on yourself, but don't be too hard on yourself. Don't make it seem like there's nothing you can do. Like, oh, I'm just this screw up. I messed up this hard. Because again, a lot of hardships that we deal with don't even necessarily involve something that we did. It
Right.
could be something that happened to us, or like when we mentioned about like losing a relative or something like that, right? That's something that just affects you. It's nothing you did. You know what I'm saying? But still has a huge effect and impact
Impact
on
on
you.
you. Absolutely.
And the same, like certain relationships, right? You could have been great spouse, and she could have just been a little rat. You know what I mean? It hurts your heart though. You know what I'm saying? You know
Little
what I mean?
rat.
And one thing you did, you know what I'm saying?
Nah, for sure.
It
Absolutely.
was her. You know what I'm saying? But you
Yeah.
still can learn from that situation. Like
Right.
you can pick up on things that happen. Like, she was doing this. I should have been more mindful of
The
this.
red
Like,
flags.
yeah, exactly, the red flags. Don't be ignoring them red flags.
Right.
But yeah, with all that, that's kind of my last point. You got anything you want to add, Sid?
Nah, man, I'm good, bro.
All right, cool. Hey, well, we greatly appreciate y'all as always, man. Be sure to check out, all of our previous episodes, all of the kits on the website. We got a lot of good stuff coming for y'all. I'm tired of saying it because some of it should have been here already, but hey, it's life.
Life,
Got to
man.
deal with them hardships. You got to roll with the punches, baby.
Hey, but one thing is for certain, we're gonna be consistent with these episodes, man.
Hey,
We may
y'all
miss
gonna
a
get these
week,
episodes,
but we're
man.
gonna
You might
come
miss
back
a
with it though.
week. It might come out on a different day of the week,
Hey, but it's gonna be
but
there.
it's coming.
You can count on us.
You best believe you're gonna get that notification about a
Absolutely.
new episode on Spotify or Apple Podcasts or wherever you're
For
podcasting,
sure.
on YouTube. Them reels have been coming, boy. But hey, man, we greatly appreciate y'all, and y'all know how it go. If you don't do nothing else,
Yeah.
keep it
Keep it
thorough,
thorough.
and we'll holler at y'all next week, man. Deuces.